Back on track. We had some results from Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Why did we decide that, well, actually, let's leave the ocean for a moment. This. Okay, let's take a look at the results from Chapter 3. Pick something from there that you think might be of importance, that you want to draw special attention to. Which of those images and or symbols do you think I want to flag as something rather important? Tyler? And why do you think the stone bread?
Because it's what her uncle always used to make it.
Okay. So Tyler need not know what it symbolizes. He doesn't have to know in order to understand that it's important. That's where I want you to be. I want you to be able to understand something is important even if you don't know why. Now you might look at me and say, Mr. Clarkson, that's kind of crazy. How can I do that? Well, I often use the terminology from my junior level English teacher in high school who talked about red flags. And he would say, when you're reading literature, red flags pop up, something is important, and you think, oh, I need to draw attention to that. He never told us how those red flags pop up. He never told us what to look for. He just said, oh, they kind of pop up. I thought, all right, it's this magical, mystical experience that some people have and some people don't. Doesn't really seem fair. We want everybody to have it. And even though I revered him and still do as a fantastic teacher, I thought he left that kind of unsettled. So I want to settle that issue for you, and Tyler's just given one answer. This thing right here connects to something else that's important. The uncle is an important memory for her. Stone bread is connected to the uncle, so the stone bread must be important too. Good, there's some logic. What does it mean? I don't know. We'll deal with that later. Can you tell me another reason why stone bread might seem to be important to you? Paulina.
Well, that's the last thing that you did before you died.
Okay. Yeah, so it was really close to the death. So once again, we've got connection. There's a reason. Yes? Aha. Recurrence. A couple times in the chapter, right, Brian? Somebody else have it in a different chapter. Come on, one of you groups should have this in a different chapter. The stone bread appears in this reading somewhere else. No? Okay, well, we'll see if you can find where else it appears. But Brienne's got the other idea. How would I know something's important? It recurs. I see it again and again and again. So I'm going to say that stone bread's important because it's connected to something important in the novel, the uncle. It recurs both in this chapter and somewhere else. So the author must be telling me that it's important. The idea of recurrence. Talk to me about it in The Secret Life of Bees. Give me two examples at least of bee imagery that are from separate areas of the novel. Well, give me one at least.
Okay, well, when the girl was in when she was
the girl? Wow, you've really wiped memory of it, haven't you? Lily. Come on. That's okay, Allie. Lily.
When Lily first learns about like keeping bees, and August teaches her, like that was a very important memory.
Excellent. So we've got it there. Give me Christian. What else?
It was also in the beginning when the bees were in the jar.
Good. Can somebody tell me another very different way in which bees or discussion of bees appears? Yeah, Alex. Okay, so they cover the bees with the black crepe. That's correct. So we've got another one.
In the very beginning of the novel, when the bees enter the bedroom.
True. And Christian was kind of talking about that, the bee in the jar.
Did they say they put their dad in honeycomb?
And how do you know about these facts regarding bees? What? True. I was thinking of those blurbs at the beginning of every chapter. Oh yeah, you remember that? Okay. So Sue Monk Kidd's novel is really easy to understand because when she wants you to know something, when she has a red flag, She practically beats you over the head with a sledgehammer with it. If you did not know the bees were important in The Secret Life of Bees, she included them in the title. So there's yet another fifth or sixth way you would know it's important. Give me something else in The Secret Life of Bees that is important. Tim? Black Mary. Give me one representation of Black Mary or the mother image. One physical representation of it in the novel. August. Okay. August might have that sort of mother image. Emily, do you have another one?
Well, when they, like, during, I can't remember what it's called, but, like, where they covered it in honey. Like,
Oh, the Our Lady of Chains?
yeah.
Our Lady of Chains. Excellent. Paulina?
Like, her mother's the mommy, yeah, they're Black Mary.
That's right. Picture of Black Mary in there. Adriana, did they have yours? Okay. Brienne? The honey jar. Okay. The image on the outside of the honey jar. Tyler? Rosaline? Rosaline, true. Let's go somewhere else with Rosaline. What's Rosaline's shrine at home? Anybody remember? Alex? Picture of her mother right there at the center of the shrine. Once again, recurrence. If you want to know that something's important, watch for patterns of recurrence. The stone bread recurs throughout the chapter, and it will recur in another chapter as well. So we have two answers to how I see a red flag. Connected to something important, recurrence. We'll see still more ways you can know this. Results on Chapter 4. Where's my Chapter 4 group? Chapter 4 people. Okay. And did we have all this? We have the family photo imagery. We have contrasting imagery of Emily and mother. Do we have any other images, symbols, or anything else important in 4? Had we finished 4? Getting a shaking of the head and nodding. Finished? Okay, we're good. Moving on. Chapter 5 group. Okay, give me, Emily, give me your sentence summary.
Oh, we didn't do a summary, we just did the images.
Okay, well, can you remember enough to give me a sentence summary?
It was when they were, like, in the attic, and Obasan was, like, looking for the lost item or whatever.
Obasan's looking for something lost in the attic, and Naomi follows her. Excellent. Give me your images, your data.
We had, well, one specifically was a pencil line of dust. It, like, just described the dust in the attic.
Good. You have page reference for the dust?
28.
28. Keep going.
And then we had the spider web and spiders, 29. And then also just light in the attic. It just got cut. And that was also
Is that everything? Okay. Out of these 3, which would you draw your attention to as being most important? Emily?
probably the spiders.
Why? But let's say for a moment that the spiders never appear again, that's momentary. They're still important. How would I know? Well, we've got these 2 ideas, right? We've got recurrence, and I'm telling you, let's take that off the table. They're not going to recur again. We have a connection to something else that's important, but I'm going to tell you right now that the spiders don't seem to be connected to anything else that's important. So how do I know it's a red flag? Can we find this page, page 29? Autumn's on the right track. Autumn, you want to read it? It's a lovely section. From around black, around the middle of the page on 29, down to the end of that paragraph.
A round black blot, large as a cat's eye, suddenly sprouts legs and ambles across the web, shaking it. It pauses, and another spider of a different variety comes scuttling up. It is lighter in color, its legs more muscular, striped and tapered. Its antennae are short knobs that protrude like eyes from its head. Sliding aggressively, it reaches its long pincer legs out toward the first. The tips touch. In a burst of speed, the first spider leaps down the roadway of webs and disappears into the floorboards.
Excellent. And what were you saying about this? The length of description. She must be drawing my attention to it because she spent so much time doing this. She doesn't spend that much time on other issues. Also, Autumn, let me ask you this. Does she need to describe the setting in order to convey a story? Does an author need to describe setting? So it's necessary, right? Are the spiders necessary? Does she have to have spiders in there? No. So doesn't it seem kind of interesting that she would devote so much attention to something that's unnecessary? She's got to describe Obasan, right? She's a character in a book. But suddenly you have spiders. And this is drawing plenty of attention to something that is unnecessary. It's optional, it's added. Here we have 4 different ways that you could wave that red flag. That you could understand that something is important here, that my author is drawing my attention to something. Spiders, stone bread. So if you ever do this sort of intuitively, that's probably what's going on up there. You just never really notice it. Those sorts of questions. Chapter 6, folks? Yeah. Oh, and one quick note before Lance proceeds. Some of you might say, I don't think that group that group didn't capture this image that I note in my journal. You have 2 options. Either 1, raise your hand, add it on. Or 2, keep it in your journal and realize that we're not looking for 100% coverage here. We're looking to practice method. And partial coverage will work too. Lance, go ahead. Give me your 1-sentence summary of Chapter 6.
My only experience on screen, a man, a woman, lion, dog,
Okay. That's right. Naomi experiences an odd dream. So talk to me about some of the content of that dream.
there was the description of the woman who's like square.
You have page reference for the square woman? Oh, by the way, if anybody's asking, that's the more commonly accepted and proper way to write the page numbers. If you write 34-35, that's fine too, but you can do this, and you'll see this commonly. If I go from page 15,013 to page, or 1513 to page 1535, I only need to write the digits that change. So if you're ever wondering about that, that's an easier, faster way for listing page references. I'm not going to hold you to it. If you write this, that's acceptable also. But really obsessive people like me are going to ask, why did you take the extra 3/4 of a second to type 1.5? Yeah, that's how insane we are. But that's why I do that. Keep going, Lance. What other images do you have?
Ceremonial bow.
Keep going. I want to call him the robot dog. Robots are cooler than lions. What page? 35. More? She calls him a martinet, right? Know what that word means? Anybody know what that word means? Reba? Did you have an idea? It's not a marionette, by the way. Totally different. A martinet is a person that has an almost obsessive attention to rules and details in favor of everything else. It's kind of that autocrat, that dictator, the drill sergeant. So if you're saying, hey, you're a martinet, that means that you only enforce rules and you don't care about anything else. Doesn't necessarily mean somebody's strict. It means they're so strict to the point that they don't care about anything else. It's a negative term. So I like using that because I think she's trying to describe somebody who is abusive and negative. Anything else, Lance? All right. The myths that Brienne drew our attention to on Friday, that is not is. What page? Good. We're good. Even if you're not complete, let's take a look at it. What are we flagging as important, folks? Somebody outside Lance's group. What do you want to say seems to be really important here? Tim? Why the robot dog? Give me 2 justifications for the robot dog being important. it qualifies for that unnecessary idea. Does Obasan, the narrative, scream out for a robot dog? No. So we're wondering why that's in there. It seems outlandish. You mean another reason why? Takes multiple paragraphs to describe the dog. So we've got the unnecessary quality and the length of the description. You throw those two together, and like the spider, we are suddenly waving red flags. Chapter 7. Paulina, was that your group? Got a sentence summary for me, please?
Well, in a flashback, it shows that Aunt Emily comes and like shares the passion for liberty in Canada.
Good. Aunt Emily's really introduction as a character and her personal agenda. What do you have for imagery and symbolism?
I put Emily cut out a journal.
Good. More?
I have the Canadian poem on page 47.
What is it about that poem, though? The poem, it's... 37, you say? Let's take a look at it. 47. Okay. We're going to take a look at page 47. The I am a Canadian. Okay. So on page 47 there, Paulina, read what helps it qualify for this journal that we're working on. Why can I put it here?
Like on the next page,
Mm-hmm.
this is my own, my native language.
I'm sorry, my question wasn't very clear, and you know what? I'm just going to restate it as a statement. On 47 there, I skimmed over the pages till I came across a statement underlined and circled in red. I am a Canadian. The circle was drawn so hard the paper was torn. 3 lines of a poem were at the top of the page. That's imagery of not just what it says, but how it's written. The fact that it's written and circled so hard and the paper is torn, that's what helps me see the imagery of it. Remember, I'm not concerned about ideas right now. I'm concerned about the expression of them. So don't tell me Obasan walked up the stairs. Tell me what the imagery of Obasan walking up the stairs is. How does Kogawa express that? Don't tell me there's dust in the attic. We're going to look at the quality of the language that's used to express the dust. So don't tell me she wrote, I am a Canadian. Tell me about that sentence that has the circle that's so hard that it's written right through the page, okay? So that's good, good example. What else do you have for that?
The scrapbook page.
Good. Scrapbook page, what was that? We had multiple pages?
There was like part of it was on like page
37. And another page? Anything else? Nope, got that? What do you want to say is important? For a page and a half, we draw attention to the I am Canadian thing, right? Okay. Blake?
The I am a Canadian line because like the scrapbook page and the journal are like they're related, but I am a Canadian line is separate.
But there's something tricky about this. Aren't all of these essentially the same? Alex, how are they all the same? They're all descriptions of a paper manuscript, right? Do we see other evidence of papers, of communication through papers, of letters, of memos, of journals, of poems? Do we see that throughout the book? Yes, that was a very easy question. This has connection. Kogawa seems to be drawing my attention to the quality of paper. Paulina, can you read from me, for me from page 38, the description of the journal? Give me something that describes to me just the quality of the paper of the book itself, something that helps me see this thing.
I untied a loose twine from around the middle of the envelope and a note falls loose and drops to it.
Okay. You also have 37 for a scrapbook page, 49. Help out Paulina, please. She shouldn't be the only one with a book open. Look around. I'm looking for passages that describe paper, that describe books. Tim, what you got? Excellent. Describing Emily's writing on what page? 38. Good. More? Tegan?
An old scrapbook full of newspaper clippings, a brown manila envelope, and one gray cardboard folder, three binder size hardcover book. Okay.
Excellent. What pages are those?
That was 37 to 38.
37 through 38. Think about the detail in which she describes that. She doesn't just say a notebook. She goes into noun phrase after noun phrase. There's your grammar. Describing this thing and its contents, these packages. So she must be doing something with the description of paper. How do I know? Connectedness. Goes to other sorts of examples. Keep an eye out for it for the rest of the book. Chapter 8. Where's my chapter 8 group? Blake? One sentence summary of chapter 8, please.
Obasan saves the parcel from Emily to Naomi, and later she finds letters from Emily to her mother.
Okay. What do you have for images or important details?
The parcel from Aunt Emily on page 52.
So notice that we're going from one set of papers to another set of papers, from one chapter to the next, past to present. Keep going.
Obasan saving everything.
Oh, is this the twine? Or she's taking the twine and re-rolling it? I did like that image. What page is that?
50. And then the diary.
What page was that?
56.
56, thank you. More? Or is that what you got? Okay, excellent. So Blake, might seem like an obvious question, but what are you going to draw your attention to here? I would focus more of my attention on this. Why? The connectedness to here. We have journals and we have letters and we have physical paper-based memories. And we have them here too. So I'm going to draw more of my attention here. This is interesting, and I do like this image, but what does this image seem to be doing? What's its purpose? Characterizing Obasan. So it might be doing something different from this. And I think this seems to be more important. So I'm going to continue with that. Chapter 9. Yes?
Naomi reflects on memories of her childhood being very important.
Good. And what do you have?
For like images.
Yes.
The photo.
And what's the photo of?
Her mom.
Okay, her mother. Good.
Her mother.
Whereas before we had a full family photo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Keep going.
The bathtub, which she describes in like 58 through 59.
With grandma, right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Skin plates, which she goes into like details about them on page 59.
I'll subheading that for the tub with grandma. Keep going.
Okay. She describes her house, like all the rooms from 63 through 64.
It might actually be more pages than that. What's the first room described? Try 61.
Oh yeah, it does. It starts earlier.
Okay, 61. What's the first room?
Well, she describes behind the sofa
the living room.
Roughly for how long does she describe the living room?
About 3 or 4 pages.
Hold on, I think she's shifting to a different room.
Oh yeah, 2 paragraphs for the living room.
2 paragraphs of the living room, and then which room?
The music room.
Music room. And she spends, gosh, almost a page on the music room, right?
Yeah.
And then where are we moving?
The father's study.
Father's study. Then where?
The bedroom.
And I think we had, I almost missed it. Somebody brought my attention to it in 3rd period. What did we miss in between father's study and the bedroom? There's some little room in there.
The sawdust furnace and the furnace room.
Playroom.
We had another object.
Go ahead. Oh, the dolls, yes. What page?
64.
What do you want to draw your attention to? Allie.
The doll.
Why?
She mentioned looking to her in childhood, and
Does she say that specifically?
she said something about it was the family of dolls I miss more than anything else. The representatives of the ones I love.
Okay.
So they represent something important.
Good. So she says herself there's something important here. That's practically giving you the red flag. What is there another reason why dolls might be important? Seems to me out of all of the things, all of the objects that Kogawa or Naomi might draw our attention to, she decides to draw our attention to dolls. She has a lot of different choices. Just like we had a lot of different choices for imagery within the attic, she draws our attention to spiders. So you must question when so many different opportunities exist for focus and attention. She focuses on this. There must be an important reason for it. And so that is the unnecessary nature. She didn't need to focus on the dolls. She decides to, and she kind of states that they're important. Pay attention to dolls for the rest of the book. Those of you who are in reading 2 might remember some attention to dolls, and you'll see that. What else might be important? Brian? The music room? Why the music room specifically? Good. The length of time, and it's connected to 2 characters, right? Which 2 characters really are prominent in the music room? Father is correct. Who's the other character who's prominent in the music room? Brother Stephen. All we have is evidence. We don't even have hypotheses for meaning yet. We just have evidence, and we have some filtering to draw our attention to something. So what have we done? What you've done is you've been attuned to certain trends. Now as you read reading 2, when they talk about, or when she talks about dolls, you'll think, oh, wait a minute, I have notes on that from a previous chapter. She must be connecting. And when you read about, I don't know, paper documents, you might think about that as well. You might think about a number of issues that you've brought up here. Okay? So you must complete Journal 2 for reading 2. And remember, it's not about correctness, it's about putting down some ideas. And we'll talk about them. But we went really slowly through chapters 1 through 9. We'll not go that slowly again. So as we continue, we'll speed up, which will be good. Quick questions about any of that? Then it is lecture time. Yay. Figurative meaning. Somebody want to hazard a guess? Definition, what you know, examples of, any details or information you have connected to this term on the board. Lance. Okay, good. like that, Lance. You start us thinking in the right direction. Somebody want to expand on that? You're in.
Like giving a new name to a word that's beyond its like symbolism.
Good. Other ideas that connect for you? All of these are correct in some way. Yeah, you're in. Well, that would be one of your meanings, right? So the meaning could be emotional meaning. Tim? Okay. Any other ideas? I liked where Lance started this because he's talking about two unlike things. Figurative meaning involves a dichotomy. Uh-oh, vocab word. Can somebody define it? Oh my gosh, wait a minute. I just took one unit and threw it into the other one. Earlier I threw grammar into this, so it'll be confusing now. Anybody remember what the word dichotomy means? Catherine? A type of classification, but what kind of classification specifically? Paulina? Two things. Binary division. Dichotomy is this or that. What is the binary division in figurative meaning? What are the two levels of meaning? One is figurative. What's its opposition? Yay, I heard somebody say it. In order to understand figurative meaning, you must understand its opposite, and its opposite is literal. Authors will play games in which things and words, whatever, on the printed page exist on two different levels, and those levels are figurative and literal. And if you don't understand both, you can't understand how figurative meaning works. Because this wall exists between these two ideas. Literal is the actual, the thing as it exists. Sometimes we call it the concrete. Sometimes people use concrete and literal as synonymous. They're not technically synonymous. And then the figurative is the representational. Some people call it the abstract. Figurative language takes me from here to here. Not that cute. It's a monkey. It's more than a monkey, though. It's a bouncy monkey. That's right. But those are both literal meanings, right? Those are both concrete meanings. Monkey and bouncy monkey. Blake, you started this off. Write this monkey as something that makes me happy. I want you to describe it. I want you to write it in such a way that connotes positive emotions. Uh-oh, time for creative writing. I want you to write the monkey in such a way that makes me happy. Uh-huh. Allie, you want to help her out? I put her on the spot there. Absolutely.
Okay, the monkey smiles.
Oh, the monkey smiles. Excellent. You want to describe that smile?
Well, the monkey smile is simple.
The monkey's simple smile, the simplicity of the monkey's smile beamed to me from his brown and black head. I don't like brown and black, actually. Yeah, they're darker tones. I'd probably want more saturated, brighter tones. So I'm going to say the simplicity of the monkey's smile beamed at me, warming my heart. I went from simple to cheap. That was cheap. I used language to take something literal and add some meaning to it. Uram wanted to add emotional meaning to something. Absolutely. I can use my language I can use my words to describe things and add levels of meaning to them. Or I could play even more tricks and I could make the monkey a symbol. What does the monkey symbolize? Happiness? Energy? Oh, I like monkeys representing energy because monkeys are rather energetic. What else do monkeys represent? Being stupid? Curiosity? Good. Childishness? Hey, yeah, hold on. I think that works. Monkeys kind of act like mischievous children often, right? They play games and tricks. Is that where you're going, Brianne? Yeah. A monkey as a representation, a symbolic representation of mischief. Sure, I like that. That'll work. Yeah, I can't get a bouncy llama. All right. Can you give me examples of the figures of speech that authors use to create this sort of meaning on all sorts of different levels? Reba? Simile and metaphor, good. Similes do it. Metaphors do it. By the way, they all do it in different ways at different levels with different intensities. Alex? Personification, nice. Christian, was that you behind me? What you got?
Idiom.
We ran into this before. What do you understand idiom to mean? Well, you could be right that it's a figure of speech, but not the kind of figure of speech that we're looking for today. An idiom is an expression that's particular to a person or a group, right?
Yeah, isn't it when they use like it's raining cats and dogs?
Yeah, something like that, right? It might be an idiom, but raining cats and dogs would therefore qualify as a metaphor. So the idioms that you're talking about, we would just see as metaphors. But you're correct, the raining cats and dogs thing works. Sound device. Onomatopoeia, alliteration, consonants, assonants are just ways of manipulating sound. So it doesn't have that next layer of figurative meaning. Okay? Yes, symbolism is your king of all figurative devices. Why? Because it's the most complex and most important. Catherine. No, allusion is just a reference to something outside. You're not layering meaning on top of something. You're just making a reference. Hey, remember this thing over here? Paulina. Hyperbole. I've told you 1,000,000 times. That's hyperbole. Exaggeration. No. I could, for some reason, I don't know why, but it always stuck with me from high school. She doth teach the torches to burn bright. Romeo and Juliet, Act 2. Right? Romeo sees Juliet in the party and says she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Hyperbole. Here's some examples. I love to hear students try to pronounce that word. All right. Shh. Hey, stop. Pronunciations like these weed the educated and intelligent from the average. So words like, oh, you're thinking, ouch. No, you're 15, 16-year-old teenagers. You guys have an excuse. It's adults who don't. Like the word epitome. Hold on. Epitome. You pronounce it epitome, and people will look at you like you're kind of sad. Synecdoche. Synecdoche. To be continued right there tomorrow. Metonymy.